Hi, everyone. Today, we are continuing my 5 Best Ideas series, and today we are looking at Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, on one hand, I know that this book has been reviewed to death. It is like 30-ish years old now or something like that, so I'll do my best to keep it original. Now, on the other hand, I know some people have some ups and down opinions about Robert Kiyosaki, but just keep in mind that this has nothing to do with his personal affiliations or judgment. This is strictly a review on the book and the ideas in it. So let's go ahead and jump right in to the 5 best ideas from Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, the first great idea from this book is something that might sound a little corny, but it's actually one of my favorite ideas in the world, which is that winners are not afraid to lose, but losers are. Now, this point circles back to something that is a pretty much fundamental part of human nature, which is to give in to fear. Now, a lot of people actually don't pursue their goals, their dreams, even their daily to-do task because of their fear of failure. They don't want to be embarrassed by failing at starting that business, that relationship, that marriage, that product, that launch, that service, that course, or whatever. So the point here is that the thing that freezes most people from taking actions is a fear of failure. Now, this is actually a whole nother topic that can probably be better summarized by Carol Dweck's book Mindset here, but in any case, just keep that in mind, that your fear of failure is probably the number one thing stopping you from pursuing and achieving your goals. The next great idea from this book, let me go ahead and just read it directly here. The world has changed, but education has not changed with it. Children spend years in an antiquated educational system studying subjects they will never use, preparing for a world that no longer exists. Now, it's funny that this book was actually written about 30-ish years ago, I think, but this topic or this phrase or this idea applies maybe even more today. Now, not to get too into politics and other topics here, but the point and truth is that school or the modern education system does not prepare people for real life. So while it might be nice for kids to learn how to calculate the slope of a line or a tangent or a cosine or any of those other things that most people will pretty much never ever use in their lives, those same students are never taught how to balance a budget, how to pay their taxes, how to start a business, how to launch a product, pretty much any real useful information. So I will save this topic for another day, but just keep in mind that the modern formal education system, especially in the US and in most of the rest of the West, is actually built or intended to produce obedient factory workers, which, if you're watching this channel, is probably not something that you are looking to become. The next great idea from this book, let me go ahead and read it again. Most people will spend the best years of their lives working for money, not really understanding what it is that they are working for. So the point here is that most people spend all of their time and most of their lives worried about money. So how am I going to make more money? What career could I have? What skills could I have to help me make more money? How can I improve my business? So long story short, in one way or another, it's money, money, money. How can I make more? How can I get some? And stuff like that. Now, it's funny that people spend, or funny may not be the right word, but it's weird or interesting or sad maybe even, that people spend so much time, maybe even all or most of their time, focused on acquiring and getting more money. Now, the weird part here is that most people don't even know what money is, how it works, how to get more of it, which is a little bit intentional, but we'll save that for another day. But the point is, imagine a football coach not knowing anything about football, or a soccer coach, or a business coach, or a whatever it may be. Imagine that they don't know anything about the topic that they are actually talking about. Now, reroute that idea into pretty much everyone, because almost everyone focuses so much on money. How can I make more? How can I get more? How can I improve my skills to get more? How can I ask my boss to give me more? And so forth. But they actually don't understand what the thing is itself. Now, the point here is that you should at least know a minimum or enough about this thing that you are spending so much time pursuing. So, for example, take some time to learn about how banks work, how lending, investing, stocks, bonds, real estate, financial instruments, and so forth, how these things work. Now, I know some of this might sound a little dry, like stocks and bonds and banking and the Federal Reserve and stuff like this, but just keep in mind, I know a lot of people tend to think, well, I don't have money, therefore I'm not going to learn about investing. Wrong order of operations. It's actually the other way around. It's, I don't know about investing, therefore I am broke. Not, I am broke, therefore I won't learn about investing. The next great idea from this book is probably the main idea that you've probably heard most referenced from this book and from this author, which is this. I'll just go ahead and read it here. An asset is something that puts money in my pocket. A liability is something that takes money out. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities, which they think are assets. Now, I cannot emphasize this point enough. This might be one of the most important things you will learn on my entire channel. So just keep that in mind, that if you want to be wealthy or rich or comfortable or secure or whatever word you may choose, just keep that in mind, that your number one goal is to acquire assets. Now, assets are things that if you go into let's say you go into a 90-day coma today, right now, right this second, an asset is something that will continue to bring money into your pocket, which if you want to learn more about this, then definitely check out my video here or in the description below. On the other hand, most poor and middle class people actually focus on acquiring or getting liabilities. Now, these are things that if you go into a 90-day coma today, actually take money out of your pocket. So what he means by middle and low class people think things are assets when they're actually liabilities is a lot of poor or middle class people think that a car is an asset, a house is an asset, and things like this. Now, short story, it all comes down to the exact same question. If you go into a 30-day coma today, will owning that thing cost you money or bring you money? For 95% of people, owning a car or house is probably going to cost you money. Now, there's definitely a lot more to be said about this topic, but just keep that in mind, that however many things you buy this week, this month, maybe even this year, you should be focused on acquiring assets, things that will give you money, royalties, patents, products, businesses, rental real estate. There is a million things that you could acquire, like I mentioned in that video a second ago. So just keep that in mind, that whatever you buy for the next entire year, just ask yourself this question. In 3 months, is this thing going to be giving me money or costing me it? The next great idea from this book, let me read it again. Most people, given more money, only get into more debt. More money rarely solves someone's money problems. Financial intelligence solves problems. Now, you've probably heard a lot of lottery winner stories about how they won 20 or 50 million or whatever, and then 3 years later, not only are they broke, they're actually worse off than they were before winning. Now, of course, this isn't the story with every NFL player and lottery winner, but unfortunately, this is the story with many or even most of them. Now, there's a lot more behind this idea, but this kind of comes back to an idea I heard once about a financial thermostat. So the point here is that whether you like them or not, how do you think Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and a bunch of these other people, these guys have been in $100 billion of debt? Now, I'm sure you probably haven't. So my question is, how in the world do you think that these guys went into $100 billion of debt and clawed their way out? That's simply because mindset is, if you're a normal person, if you get in $1 million debt, you think, oh no, this is the end of me. I have to declare bankruptcy. I have to work at McDonald's for the rest of my life. I have to do everything I can. Okay, that's not necessarily a bad plan, I guess, but just put it this way, that if you were Donald Trump or Elon Musk or one of these other people, and if next thing you know, you are suddenly down negative 100 billion, what are you going to do? Are you going to say, well, time to throw in the towel? Well, I guess I suck. Well, I guess that's that for me. No, because in their head, they have more money than that. Now, I know this topic is a little bit more complicated than this, and we actually have a sixth bonus idea for you guys. So let's go ahead and throw it in here. I don't want to work all my life. I don't want what my parents aspired for, which was job security and the house in the suburbs. I don't like being an employee. I want to be free to travel the world and live the lifestyle I love. I want to be young when I do this. I want control over my time and life. Now, I know that most boomers and most capitalist bootlickers are going to say, but life isn't supposed to be fun. Work isn't supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to suck. Life is hard. If you want to enjoy your life and travel and enjoy your family, then something is wrong with you. Well, the point here is that all of those people are stuck in the industrial age, which means that they think life is supposed to suck. Enjoyment should never happen. I should only enjoy myself for my last 5 years of life when I'm retired. And anyone who wants more out of life, there's something wrong with them. Oh my God, don't get me started with these people. Have you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad or anything else by Robert Kiyosaki? Let me know in the comments below, as well as any great ideas or points you learned from him, or even anything you disagree with. Well, that wraps us up for today. I know that was a quick one. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.